Welcome to Grand Prix, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. We've got 3 hot stories for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay ahead of the pack. Let's get started.
Hey friends, how's it going? Let's talk about one of the biggest questions in Formula One right now. Who will be driving for Red Bull and Racing Bulls next season? As of today, nothing is officially set in stone, but according to team advisor Helmut Marko, we won't have to wait much longer. The final decision on the lineups will be announced right after the Mexican Grand Prix. So, what do we already know? First of all, Max Verstappen isn't going anywhere. Despite all the rumors that he could walk away earlier, the Dutchman's contract runs until the end of 2028, which makes him the only 100% confirmed name at Red Bull for next year. The real uncertainty lies in who will partner him in the main team and who will fill the 2 seats at Racing Bulls, Red Bull's sister outfit. Starting with the safest bet, Isack Hadjar. The Frenchman already has a contract guaranteed for 2026, but it hasn't yet been defined whether he'll stay with Racing Bulls or be promoted to the senior team alongside Verstappen. Hadjar's stock has risen dramatically this season, especially after scoring a podium in Zandvoort, which showed he can deliver under pressure. Then we have the 2 names currently on the bubble, Yuki Tsunoda and Liam Lawson. Both drivers are fighting to remain inside the Red Bull system, and their future will be decided after the Mexico GP. Tsunoda has been with the program for years, and while his aggressive driving style has always been exciting, he hasn't delivered consistent results. Marko himself admitted that Yuki has improved since Laurent Mekies took over at Racing Bulls, but he still needs to prove more if he wants to secure another year. Lawson, on the other hand, has shown flashes of brilliance whenever he's had a chance, making him a strong candidate to stay within the fold. And then there's the new blood, Arvid Lindblad. The 18-year-old Formula 2 talent is part of the Red Bull Junior Academy, and Marko has already gone on record saying that Lindblad is, quote, ready for Formula 1 despite his age. Rumor has it he'll even get a test in an F1 car later this year. That makes him a very realistic option for Racing Bulls in 2026. Meanwhile, speculation linking Red Bull to former McLaren junior Alex Dunn has been shut down. Marko confirmed that Dunn is not on the shortlist, not even as a potential reserve driver, so you can cross that name off the board. Putting the pieces together, here's the most likely scenario right now. Hadjar gets promoted to Red Bull alongside Verstappen, while Tsunoda loses his seat, and Racing Bulls lines up with Liam Lawson and Arvid Lindblad. It's a mix of experience, youth, and fresh energy, which is exactly how Red Bull likes to balance their 2 teams. But, as always in Formula One, nothing is final until it's official. Contracts, politics, and last-minute performances can change everything overnight. Just remember, the official announcement is expected right after the Mexican Grand Prix, so all eyes will be on Red Bull in the coming weeks. Now, I want to hear from you. If you were in Helmut Marko's shoes, what pairings would you choose? Who deserves that second Red Bull seat next to Verstappen? And which 2 drivers should line up for Racing Bulls? Drop your lineups in the comments. This is going to be one of the hottest debates of the season.
Hey friends, how's it going? Ferrari just lived through a weekend to forget at the Singapore Grand Prix as the team faced a major braking issue that completely compromised the performance of their cars. These failures had already appeared in earlier races this season, but in Singapore, the situation escalated dramatically. During Friday practice, engineers detected a technical imbalance in the system. The right and left rear brakes were running at different temperatures. And that type of issue is especially critical in Singapore, one of the most demanding tracks on brakes in all of Formula One, with its slow corners, stop-and-go nature, and very few straights to cool the components. By just the 8th lap, Charles Leclerc was already forced to manage the defect, lifting off the throttle at the end of straights to ease the strain and reduce heat. But soon, the issue spread to the front axle, making the situation even worse. The race quickly turned into a test of survival, with Leclerc crossing the line only in 6th place, a massive 45 seconds behind race winner George Russell. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton also battled overheating problems and finished in 7th place, before later dropping to 8th due to a penalty, ironically also linked to braking struggles. The detail that drew the most criticism came before the race even started. Ferrari decided not to increase brake ventilation, even though they were fully aware of the risks. That choice was made to preserve efficiency and straight-line speed, but it backfired badly, as the brakes simply couldn't withstand the extreme demands of Marina Bay. What stings even more is that Ferrari's engineers knew this problem existed. Overheating had already been flagged in earlier races, yet the team judged it not critical and brought no updates or reinforcements to Singapore. That risky bet turned into a disaster, with fans and analysts alike questioning why such a critical area of performance was neglected for so long. The outcome? Ferrari remains winless in the 2025 season, stuck in third place in the Constructors' Championship with just 6 races left. Once again, a questionable technical decision transformed what could have been a solid result into another painful red nightmare. So here's my question to you. What do you make of Ferrari's recent decisions? Do you think there's a specific weak link inside the team, whether in management, technical leadership, or strategy, that needs to be changed before they can finally get back on the path to winning again? Or is this just part of the chaos that comes with competing at the very top? Drop your thoughts below, because one thing is certain: Ferrari can't afford many more weekends like Singapore.
Hey friends, welcome back. Today's headline is a major shocker. Hackers have breached FIA systems and gained access to Max Verstappen's personal data. Let's break it all down for you right here on GP at Home. According to reports, the FIA suffered a serious cybersecurity incident this week after vulnerabilities were discovered in its online portal. This system holds sensitive personal data for hundreds of drivers across multiple categories, including Formula One. Among the compromised files were records belonging to 4-time world champion Max Verstappen. The breach came to light when a user on social media platform X revealed that he and 2 other cybersecurity specialists had identified a critical flaw. They created a test account on the FIA portal and, shockingly, were able to promote themselves to administrator status without any verification. The flaw, described as a Mesa segment vulnerability, essentially tricked the FIA server into trusting malicious commands, giving outsiders unrestricted access. With this admin clearance, the group could view documents such as Verstappen's super license, passport details, and private contact information. The hackers claim, however, that they did not download or copy any files. Instead, they say the test was performed only to prove the vulnerability. After confirming the exposure, they reported it directly to the FIA and even assisted in fixing the issue. In an official statement, the FIA acknowledged the incident, confirmed that corrective measures were implemented, and stated that both the data protection authorities and the affected drivers had been notified. The governing body insisted that no other systems, such as live race control or technical scrutineering networks, were compromised. They also emphasized their ongoing investments in cybersecurity and digital resilience. Still, the revelation has raised tough questions. How could such a basic flaw exist in a system holding passports, licenses, and personal contacts of the world's most high-profile drivers? Fans and analysts alike are stunned that a relatively simple exploit left Verstappen's data, and potentially that of dozens of other F1 and junior category drivers, vulnerable. Cybersecurity experts point out that sports organizations are becoming increasingly attractive targets. Sensitive data, combined with the prestige of global sports like Formula One, creates a perfect storm. In many cases, it isn't professional cybercriminals, but ethical hackers who discover these flaws first, exposing weaknesses that should have been patched long ago. For Verstappen, this incident highlights the risks of being one of the most recognizable faces in motorsport. While no evidence suggests his information was stolen or misused, the mere fact that hackers could access his records underscores the urgency for tighter data protection in F1. So, what do you think? Was this a careless oversight by the FIA, failing to safeguard their drivers' information? Or, in today's digital world, is it simply inevitable that hackers will eventually find a way into almost any system?
Drop your thoughts below. We'd love to hear your perspective on this surprising off-track drama.